welcome to the Black Man Spy special, paid subscribers only Substack. I'm going to take a few moments here to let people dial in. We're waiting for Wajia Lion to come on, who will be assisting me tonight. And we're going to do this first hour of Taco or Tactics. How Trump will either increase his activities in this war through invading and announcing that he's going to take further military operation, or how he is going to chicken out of any further escalation and that this could be the beginning of the end of the war. There's also a third alternative. He could just sort of go in between that. We don't know. But we're going to do two things tonight. First, I'm giving you a very special briefing about the potential for the amphibious invasion of two locations. And then we'll go over the potential special mission for nuclear weapons. If those of you who've been on here for a while, you probably know the routine. Go ahead and hit those red hearts, that little heart down there. Just touch it. And just give it a few touches. And for all the paid subscribers, they will get a reminder and it will bring the algorithm up showing that this Substack Live is on. And again, I'm waiting for Waji to come, and I'm just waiting for a note from my assistant to let me know if she sees him. But that being said, one thing I'm going to say about these Substack Lives, we do not distribute them. These do not go up on YouTube. They do go out on Substack, but the only people who can watch them are the paid subscribers. So whatever you say tonight, if I invite you to come and make a comment, we may invite one or two of you to come up and make a video comment. If you're willing to do that, put it in your question. Just say at the beginning, video comment, and I'll get your handle. And if I can find you, there's Wajay. He's here. So let's invite him. I did not wear any, let's get him up here. I did not wear any fun headgear today. Again, I have loads of headgear down in my man cave, man skiff, as it is. And we'll do that some other time. But we're going into serious activities tonight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a detailed briefing of the things you should be looking out for to indicate if we are going to either invade Kharg Island, invade Iran proper, or invade the Strait of Hormuz Islands. Hello, Wajid. What are you, cold? You got your hool and your hoodie on? That is really Shia right there. That you look just like Hussein. I have banners and headbands and everything from my Ashura days in southern Iraq, in Karbala and Najaf. But
this is an Afghani Shi'i or an Afghani Sufi.
An Afghani Sufi, there you go. So, and which would get you killed in Afghanistan. You Sufis are nothing but, apostates to Al-Qaeda. Right. So, yes, that is a very nice cloth. I know you took that from your mom. So,
from my grandpa, I have some too. From my grandpa.
From your grandfather. Well, that's good, because green is the color of Islam. Green is the color, when you talk about the Western deserts of Saudi Arabia, it's the color of the Prophet Muhammad, because in the Western desert of Saudi Arabia, any green that you see means a sign of water and sign of plenty and bountifulness. So, well, somebody says that's their favorite color. That's good. Someone's already talking multipass. So I will be waiting for your questions to come up in here. And I'm already got some, which That's is nice. Great. So our assistant is taking down these questions. I can't read them in real time. So if you want to do a video response, you want to say hi to everybody and willing to show your face, just put your name and your handle and your very short question, because we have very little time in the run up to the what's going to happen at the top of the hour. I've been seeing a lot of activity from various news sources, Fox News, others, that say that his speech isn't going to be anything special and that it, in fact, was pre-recorded. So we're going to watch it. And what I don't want you to do, I'm going to try to find it on here so that we can watch it live on my news media blast, and or I'll get it streamed off of Al Jazeera. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to dial it up and watch it from your phone when you can. I'm going to turn the camera around and you can watch what we're watching. I don't know if that's actually good, but it's generally watch what we're watching because I'm going to be making color commentary. This will be like Mystery Science Theater 3000 without the little robots. Waj is going to play the little robot, and we're just going to mock and insult whatever he says. It's as simple as that. So,
I had to dress a little holy because I mean I had my frankincense on and I had the bahur on just because we were about to listen to Trump talk live, and I had to be a little clean for the situation. Crazy.
okay. Okay. Well, you guys let me know. Somebody said my internet goes up and down. I'm on 5G now. I'm not on the Wi-Fi, which means that I should be relatively clean. But again, if you have questions, uh, be sure to come out and do that. So with that, first off, I did have tacos tonight. Tacos are down. I still have extras, and I have a little cheer here. I have a little frozen margarita and a pre-frozen gas because I'm going to let that chill while we have this discussion because I don't know about you, I can't go through Trump completely sober. I mean, I have to have you know just a taste of of a relaxant. So with that, I'm going to bring up Google Earth. If you just give me a moment, and I want to go over the two operations that we've talked about extensively. And I gave you some hints a little earlier about, hold on, uh, some hints a little earlier about precisely not just what you would see if we were to invade Kharg Island. I want to give you some ideas of what you, the person who scrolls on Twitter and X or whatever your social media is, what you should expect to see. And if you hear X news, that means this phase of an operation of a campaign is going on. And I know none of you are Ukrainian. I'm so listening to Ukrainian. I know none of you are Iranian intelligence. We don't have Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps people paying $7 to tell them something they already know. Okay. They have been preparing for this for 47 years. So if it happens, and Iran was trying it all the time, Iran was attacking them anytime. Somebody says, take a drink. Okay. I'm going to let that cool. It's a pre-iced glass. But now we got it. We didn't call for a happy hour, although we will be doing happy hours. So I'm going to bring up Kharg. First, Kharg Island. The forces that are arrayed in the Gulf right now have always, since the beginning of this war, since that Marine amphibious group landed, have always had enough soldiers and Marines to take Kharg Island. The problem with Kharg Island is it's a matter of geography, right? From the Strait of Hormuz, the eastern side of the Strait of Hormuz, it's 500 nautical miles up the eastern side of the Persian Gulf to get to Kharg Island. It's not just some place you can just say, hey, let's just go there. I have been teaching you all about the geography. This is the eastern Strait of Hormuz, Gulf of Oman, northern Indian Ocean. This is the Strait of Hormuz here. And then you go up here for 25 to 26 hours, nonstop movement on your very fast warship, and you would get up to Kharg Island. It is not close at all. Okay? It's almost an hour and a half aircraft ride from Abu Dhabi because it's 446 miles from the western Strait of Hormuz, Abu Musa Island, Qashem Island, but from the Gulf of Oman, where U.S. forces would launch from, it would be 550 nautical miles. So, launching your mission from here would not be the best thing, right? It would not be the best because it is so far away. Another reason why you wouldn't use the Marines is not just that they're 500 miles away, you have all these other islands you have to go by. They have ships, they have landing craft, they have hovercraft and aircraft, tilt rotor aircraft. They would be better served either harassing the Iranian Revolutionary Guard down on these islands and leaving Kharg Island for forces that are much closer to them. And those forces are here in Kuwait, they're in Jordan, and they can be in one of my favorite places, Hafar al-Batin. There is a big, here it is, no, King Khalid Military City, all right? KKMC has been a huge U.S. staging base for a long time. We know that a lot of our special operations soldiers are in Israel and Jordan, and some in Kuwait. It would be easier to fly over from Jordan or Israel here, land at the King Khalid Military City, refuel, get a last minute go, no go order, wait till the middle of the night. And right now, it is not the middle of the night. Right now, it's 4 in the morning, and this is a bad time to seize Kharg Island because we dominate the night due to our advanced night vision goggles, some of which have 1 monocular, 2 goggles, some have 4 goggles so that they can see in panoramic sight. Our special operations troops wear them, $50,000 goggles. So you would want to raid at 3 in the afternoon Eastern time, which is about midnight, 1 a.m. Persian Gulf time. And you want to get there at night with extensive bombing. The first sign that you would see is you would see news reports that there's extensive bombing in the vicinity of Kharg Island and Bushehr. That's going to be your first indication that something hinky is going on. It'll probably be Predator drones because we can shoot with greater precision with Predator drones. Or if you hear any reports about an AC-130 gunship hosing things down near Kharg Island, when you see an AC-130 gunship, we are literally, our soldiers are very close to them. And that thing is a precision weapon system designed to put a lot of bullets and a lot of bombs down on top of an enemy. Very close air support. Let me see if I can turn that volume off so that you don't get all my dings. So those forces, to make it quick, would come from right here, KKMC or Ali Salam Air Base or Camp Bueling, which is a U.S. Army base near Ali Salam. It is 101 miles over there. In our tilt rotor aircraft flying at relatively low altitude and helicopters, it would be about an hour's helicopter ride, 45 minutes helicopter ride to Kharg Island from the Kuwaiti coast. Malcolm, that's amazing. Why do you know that? Because I took a Marine helicopter one time and we flew circles off of the Kharg Island Go Plat, which is not in Iranian waters, by the way. It is about 15 miles away from Kharg Island. And there is another island that I talked about earlier today that if you hear American forces have landed on Farsi Island, well, on this map, if you can see it, there are 4 dots of islands there. These are off Jubail, Saudi Arabia, right? These islands are Al Arabi Island, which I believe is this one, Farsi Island, and then 2 other islands which belong to Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. So let me see here. Farsi Island is an IRGC held island. Let me see if the satellite will cooperate with us. That's Farsi Island. You can see it has a nice marina on it. Very tiny. We attacked this place a couple of times in the 1980s and because this was an IRGC small boat area, they were harassing our ships from there. And we had special operations helicopters go and hose down the Iranians on that island. That's Farsi Island. The closest one to it is a Saudi island called Al Arabi Island. So the Arabic island, right? And then Farsi Island. Jizra al Arabiya, Jizra al Farsiya, right? That's how they say it in their language. So if you hear noise that Farsi Island is under attack or is being taken, or U.S. helicopters are landing there, that's a sign that we're already up here off of Kharg Island. And for that to happen, that would require the president to give them at least 4 or 5 hours of lead time. Because what we would be doing is we would be flying Navy SEALs in from either KKMC or out of a Kuwaiti base there, most likely Camp Bueling, and we would fly them on a special operations helicopter, and we would drop them either by parachute or off of a C-130 with small boats, or we would have special operations small boats operating down here in Khafji. I've been to Khafji. It's a good place for it. And they would haul ass out into the middle of the ocean. A small special operations unit that I worked with, Special Boat Squadron, which is part of the Naval Special Warfare Task Group. These are the taxis of the SEALs. And they would come out here in high speed and staying off from the island, they would drop the SEALs into the water, and the SEALs would do a combat swim up to the GOPLATs, to the gas oil platforms. These gas oil platforms were attacked by the Iranians many times, or the Iraqis many times during the Iran-Iraq War. Uh, the SEALs would take that platform and make sure that there were no IRGC on it, knock out the radar that's on it, and now this place would be blind. If I were the Iranians, the first thing that I would be doing is I would have people along the Kuwaiti coast, my spies and their kids, right? Out at night, all the partying happens between 11 and 1 a.m., right? That's when everybody's out smoking shisha, having a good time. And I would
Night
be
out.
watching for helicopter movements breaking the coast, heading out there in dark. Not one helicopter, multiple helicopters. That would give you about an hour to 2 hours before your GoPlat would go dark. No radar. And then Farsi Island would suddenly stop communicating. All of those are indicators that bad things are coming your way. When that happens, there is nothing you can do to stop it if you haven't already pre-planned for it. Here's Kharg Island. Kharg Island is only 4.8 miles long from the longest point to the longest point here, 2.2 miles at the longest point across. You could walk across it in about 20 minutes in either direction. 60% of this island is gas oil facility, transit facility. You can see the piers here for the very large crude carriers that are there at the port. You can see this from space. This is what a very large crude carrier looks like on this high resolution photo. And these piers here are where they get the oil, right? The oil is pumped onto the ships through these devices here. These lock the ship in. And the oil is actually coming from pipes under the water,
Because
right?
it's too shallow to go too close to the island for these
Right.
ships.
Well, where you see it's green, it's shallow. Where you see it's dark blue, it's very deep. And then you notice it's dark blue all around the island because it is a deep water island. But when you get to that light green, you're going ashore. So the tankers have to come up here, go around, and they can hit that secondary dock. They can have up to 6 to 8 ships refueling at any given time. So, Malcolm, that's awesome. But how are we going to go and take that place? Well, here's the problem. If you hear people say they parachuted in, well, that's just stupid. Because if you parachute, you have to fly in and go right over the top of the island where guys with guns and drones and missiles and all sorts of stupid shit can shoot at you, even if it's at high altitude and they do that high altitude, low opening bullshit. That's not how we do it. We fly in at 3,000 feet. We could go as low as 1,000 feet. And that means those guys would be jumping out and landing within 10 seconds. But 60% of the island is the oil facility,
Mhm.
right? Over here, you have the village of Kharg Island here and here on both sides of the airstrip, which, by the way, we blew holes in, so we can't land aircraft on it. and the rest of it to the northwest is empty because this is where the IRGC had a lot of its facilities. They were destroyed and bombed, anti-aircraft guns, things like that. But guys who are there with machine guns can sit there and wait for you. As a matter of fact, there's a photograph on Twitter, the Twitter machine, sorry.
Even worse, they
Photograph.
could have already mined these area open spaces where any soldiers could land. They could have
And,
easily mined all of those ahead of time. Oh, is Trump talking?
no, that's Trump's not talking till 9. No, that was this afternoon. So, some of the places, oh, this is mine. Repeat after me. You cannot get to Kharg with Marines until you successfully transit the Strait of Hormuz. Right? It's like, oh, okay. I'm trying to find this photo where they have an IRGC representative on the island, um, is sitting in a fighting pit with his drones, right? He's sitting there and he's got 2 drones and his AK-47. Those drones are probably the most efficient thing that they have. Here it is. Iranian soldiers. Here it is. Iranian soldiers ready for U.S. invasion. It's spinning up because it's slow here. And here's the picture. You can't see it very well. I'm sorry, I can get a better one. But there are 2 handheld drones there. And this guy is in a fighting pit that's dug into the side of a hill. Thermal imaging will not detect him. They won't detect him. All right. Until he comes as puts his head out of there. Then we'll hose him down. But if he's sitting there, he can lay back in his pit and launch the drone. Right? He can launch the drone. Well, we're having trouble finding that picture. So, all of these things being said, it is just easier for them to lay back and have spent the last few weeks planting landmines all over every inch of the terrain here, every inch of the coast. And here's the best part, every flat space, because we not only can jump out of a helicopter, we fast rope, where we drop a rope flat, and we look for flat areas like the tops of these buildings, the sides of these buildings, out here on the piers. I wouldn't do it there. This was an anti-aircraft gun emplacement that got blasted. And you would drop these people, you would land really quickly, put your ramp down, and get off the helicopter. Unass is the words that we call it, right? And let me see if I can find you a picture of a uh,
Can I ask you a question?
yes. Hmm.
Now, the other thing is that the Washington Post has said that close sources to Trump is saying that he's getting ready to have an operation for 1,000 pound of uranium, highly enriched uranium extraction from Iran. Where would you think he would go for that?
Well, that has been, I was going to talk about that. That's been floating around for a little bit. That Trump has been considered, that Trump himself personally ordered this operation to prepare for special operations to go into Iran and to seize the uranium. You guys might recall, when was it? Almost 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we saw all those aircraft moving, and I said, "There's way too many forces for Kharg Island and the Strait of Hormuz islands. Way too many forces, right?" So that's what's going. So Trump apparently did that, and within days they flew in almost 1,000, almost the entirety of U.S. special operations is in Jordan and in Israel. And they are waiting for, they said right now, all they're waiting for is the go order. So I just want to show you how they're going to get off the helicopters and aircraft. This is called fast rope. I'll do this, show you a nice YouTube video. Because it's like the movie Black Hawk Down. It's you can get there, you can get 10 men off of a helicopter in less than 10 seconds, right? Faster if they really do it, and like the Rangers. That way you don't have to land. And the reason is landing, what if you're landing on a minefield, right? Then the helicopter blows up and kills everybody in it and around it, right? These are things that you actually have to consider when taking into account the kind of operation that we're talking about here. So the
Malcolm,
United States,
Lev is in the house, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
okay, I'll talk to him a little bit later on. So here is our helicopters. This is exactly how they would come in. This is the exact squadron they would use. And they slide down a rope onto their objective area, then fly out. Except shooting machine guns coming in and out. The problem here is the enemy can shoot back. Surface to air missiles, machine guns, and they can fly drones into your helicopters and blast you out of the sky. Oh, Malcolm, that just sounds horrible. Yes, it is horrible. MH. Here is another kind of aircraft that we use, the MH-22 Osprey. This is called a tilt rotor aircraft because it takes off like a helicopter, it changes its engines, and it flies like an airplane. It can fly very fast, 400 miles per hour, much faster than a helicopter. The U.S. Special Operations use these aircraft too because they can fly all the way from Israel straight to Kharg Island, right? MH-22, SPRAY. Let's take a look at that. And these would be used in all of the raids that they use out there, not just the raid on Kharg Island or the raid on there. These are also our search and rescue helicopters that we would use in a special mission. I'm going to show you the Air Force version, the MH-22, which can, there you go, which carries out most of our search and rescue. Let me see that. USAF. They're different because they are colored different. Here you go. And this is the Air Force version of that could fly deep into Iran. The Marine Corps is gray, it's shorter lift, it doesn't have any of the radars or the refueling capability. Another aircraft that we used is the U.S. Army. You might have seen this during the Maduro raid in Venezuela. Chinook. This is the U.S. Army Special Operations version. And this is how it would land in Iran or Kharg Island or the Strait of Hormuz. It carries Gatling guns, and this can carry a lot of troops, like 30. They get off by fast roping or they just jump off the ramp. But you can see it's very vulnerable there. These are slow. They would have to take off an hour before the Ospreys. Okay. But Malcolm, you said something about small boats getting dropped out there and the SEALs going out there. How do the SEALs do that? Well, this mission, if we did not want to, if we did not want the enemy to know by watching us fly over Kuwait, Another way that we would do it is dropping our boats from an aircraft, right? So let me show you this. That groovy music. The guys in SEAL Team 6 would be doing this with a special operations crew. They have boats in a transport aircraft. It would fly at like 10,000 feet. It would pick a spot in the ocean, and then these boats would be kicked out of the back of the airplane. They would fall down on parachute, then the SEALs jump in behind it. That's the boat going out. And then they go out behind it. Now, this is how you get near Kharg Island without anybody seeing you or any of the islands. And then once you're down in the water, there's another one. Most of the time, we do 2 at a time. Boat goes out, crew goes out. Boat goes out, crew goes out. Okay, so here's the boats coming down. By the way, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment being used.
Wow.
Never use it again. It just gets lost. Right? Cut it off of the boat. The SEALs swim up to the boat. They fire up the boat, and then they go to their objective. Kharg Island, the distances are so short, it's more than likely they would just use high-speed boats coming from Kuwait. This is very risky. But Pete Hegseth's the kind of guy who'd be like, let's do this. I mean, it's all sorts of fun until somebody drowns, right? So, like I said, the first things that are going to happen is we are going to take the gas oil platforms. We would seize these gas oil platforms. I type in SEALs gas oil platforms, and it brings me cuddly seals. You have to say SEALs take a go plat, right? A
Oh
gas
my God.
oil platform. Cuddly seals, they're so cute. We don't even have to club them. Okay, gas oil platform. In 1988, we had a SEAL platoon on our squadron, which was supposed to take a gas oil platform. This is a video in Operation Iraqi Freedom where we storm an Iraqi oil platform in the war. This is what it's actually like when people are shooting. This is them prepping.
The decision was taken to go.
Oh, high-speed boats. They're going to fast rope.
The oil platforms in the Arabian Gulf, their functions of resonate for special forces supported by.
And we always go at night. We never do this shit in the daytime. We own the night. You see at the bottom, there's already the special operations boats down there. And this is the SEALs piling out on the bottom. These are using our 11-meter ribs, rigid hull inflatable boats.
Illumination from the main. There's a lot of flammable stuff there. You had reason to believe that it was raised with explosives. That's special.
All right, so this is what you do. You just go on it, you search it, you kill everybody who's Revolutionary Guard, you take prisoners, then you announce that you have it. When we have that go plat and we know that the radars aren't operating, because that's critical, or we'll just take a drone and blast the radars. But if you blast the radars, the IRGC can call in and say, hey, a drone blasted our radars. And then the IRGC will go, oh, they're coming for Kharg Island. And you give them 30 minutes warning, right? So there are several gas oil platforms out there all around Kharg Island. These would have to be taken or neutralized. The next thing that you would have is you have to decide how you're going to insert. If it was me, I would come in from the south. down here, neutralize what's ever here, right? And then bring in other forces around the village and cut through the platform so that all of their defenses, which are mainly up here, can get bottled in and the drone can shoot them and gunships can shoot them and hose them down. But could you do this? You could technically do this with 100 men, depending on how many Iranians are on the island. If they've reinforced it with the rumors that there's 500, you're going to need it. You're going to need 200 or 300 special operations personnel and lots of gunships to blow them up. So that's how you take Kharg Island. Then your special operations boats can come over from Kuwait. And if you have another thing that we probably haven't discussed is our allies. During Operation Desert Storm, I was assigned to the PTG, the patrol craft Istiklal, which was one of the 2 Kuwaiti Navy vessels that survived. I was hanging out there with their famous hero of Kuwait, Captain Jassim. And those boats were assigned to U.S. Special Operations. So don't be surprised if you see Saudi or Kuwaiti, even, vessels assisting with that landing. But it's going to be mainly by helicopter and tilt rotor. We will not be parachuting in there. Now we're going to have to get a lot of resources up to them quickly. So at the same time, we may decide to try to force our way through the Strait of Hormuz. At the same time, because none of these operations should go by themselves. At that time, you might see a U.S. Navy flotilla over here. You could even see there's people who have TikTok. They will take videos, and you could see 3, 4 U.S. Navy warships, maybe 5 or 6, mustering up together here, including the amphibious transport USS Tripoli. Sorry, let me move that over. In the Gulf of Oman off of Dibba. That's here. Corfacon, Dibba. This would be a good place to do it. And then we would send in they said that they have a couple of little remote control speedboat drones that the U.S. Navy's playing with. Yeah, so what? Okay, you got a couple of drone boats. That's adorable, right? The Iranians got a lot of things. And if they see that damn drone boat, they know you're coming because you could be bringing your drone boat through here. Then we would probably bring a helicopter with a mine-sweeping assembly and would start doing laps back and forth in the SOH. That tells me, Mr. Abu Revolutionary Guardsman, that you are about to come into the Strait of Hormuz and you're going to force it. One of the things that we would probably do to be clever is we would use the multipass route. Not all of it, but part of it. We would come in on the SOH, cut north here at Sirik, come close to the coast with our guns ablazing, and then cut under Larak Island because we would take the chance that we could do that in an hour, right? Rather than risk
wouldn't that make
mines.
them a target?
It would make them a target, but we also know that the tankers are coming through there, therefore there are no mines. But if I were the Iranians, I would be putting mines in places where the tankers aren't, right? Then you have small boats and things like that. Don't forget, we like to do this in the middle of the night. This should have already happened at 3 this afternoon. So if it hasn't happened, it's going to happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, maybe it's never going to happen. But what we would probably do is over here near Corfacon, fly our Marines in those tilt rotor helicopters straight over their objective at first, Abu Musa Island. And you know who would be showing up there? The United Arab Emirates Navy with its amphibious landing craft, which at that point, it will be a free-for-all. The Iranians will fucking start firing off cruise missiles everywhere. Yes, sir.
I have actual intel. I spoke to my people in the Saudi military. They have confirmed not only the United Emirates are going to join, the Saudis are preparing to join as well. So,
well, the Saudis, the first thing the Saudis would do is take Farsi Island and claim it's now Saudi Arabia. Remember?
So if Trump is announcing this, there might be a bigger play with the GCC.
If this happens, guys, everybody knows the entire global economy collapses. Right? So Next thing, so that's how the two sets of islands are going to get taken. In the Strait of Hormuz, they will island hop. They will do 3 at one time simultaneously. First, you will start hearing reports of attacks at Abu Musa Island, then attacks at Greater Tund al Kubra, right? And then at Lesser Tund al Sugra. You may even see, like we saw in Venezuela, people videotaping those Osprey aircraft. If you see those helicopters flying over Dubai in the next 24 hours at night, we are on the attack, period. Right? They don't let them in their territory just for fun. And of course, the United Arab Emirates will bring its landing craft up there. Its few corvettes will come out here. And at that point, Bandar Lega, Farur Island, whatever's on Kishem Island, and whatever other missiles they have up here, they don't even have to be on the coast. They could be 300 miles inland, and they could shoot anti-ship missiles and target everything around those islands. And the next thing you know, we are eating missiles, or the Emiratis are eating missiles, or the island starts getting bombarded with 150, 200 shaheeds. Then you're going to see some fireworks from Dubai. And then Dubai is going to get fucking blitzed with everything Iran has, just as punishment, right? And you're wondering why I wanted to go to Dubai. So let's hope that this stuff doesn't happen. Now I'm going to take questions. I know you guys want to ask about the nuclear program. We went over that in detail a couple of days ago. That is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Okay? We do not want to do that. That would take us parachuting 3,000 troops into Iran near Isfahan or out here in the Yazid Mountains. And airborne is already in the Gulf. Point is that we have the capacity to fly the airborne from someplace in Georgia or Germany or wherever, or Kuwait, and drop 3,000 guys at a time. You're going to know we're going to do that because there's a lot of indicators. And the first thing you'll see is you'll probably see video from somebody in Khorram Shah or Bandar Khomeini or Ahvaz who is watching these U.S. transports fly over, and then you start hearing about parachutes. Then you're going to see every fucking place in the Western Persian Gulf get hit with every ballistic missile they haven't fired, because it'll be punishment time at that point. Sorry about my language. Because
Well,
this
also,
is not
it makes them all targets, like penetrating a nuclear bunker, which is what they're going into.
for, it could take them weeks to dig into that. Weeks.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's crazy to even think about that. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to me. And now we're going to answer some questions before we get to the big show, which is the we're going to Mystery Science Theater 3000 the hell out of Donald Trump. So, questions we have here. Catherine asks, where is the 82nd Airborne? They are in the theater, most likely at one of the two secret bases in Jordan or Saudi Arabia. Okay, we don't. If I knew, I wouldn't say. All right, I'm still an American. I really want operational security to stay. Somebody said, saw you on CNN using your inside voice and no mention of multipass. What a disappointment. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Rosie Deardoff, any possibility that Trump might defer negotiations? I heard Pakistan and China are trying to lead the peace. Any chance there? There's always a chance. Trump may just taco. Sorry, every time I say that, I have to take a drink. Trump may just decide to back out of this and say, we're going to go with that 5-point plan from China. It's up to you to make the Strait of Hormuz open. As soon as the Iranians are sure that the U.S. warships are withdrawing and strikes stop on the country of Iran, they will reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And they're not even going to use the IRGC toll booth. They will just let it happen again. And guess who will come off like the heroes? Whoever negotiated this, the Pakistanis and the Chinese, right?
Did you see the news that came out 6 hours ago from the Iranian and military saying that they have killed 37 U.S. troops at a secret military base in the UAE.
In the UAE, no, and secret military base. No secrets in the UAE. It's this big. You could drive past everything. Okay. Somebody asked, Kenneth wrote, if we try to seize the uranium, what is the next and worst case? The worst case is we get to that site and we now are fighting the Iranian airport and the Iranian army in a full circle, right? And then we find out that we're actually going to have to steal transporters and backhoes and excavators. And then we turn out that it's going to take days, if not a week or more, to dig down to where they think the bunker is. Okay. Worst case scenario, they only do this with a few hundred people that make a improvised airstrip. They go in there, they dig a big hole, they get down to a shaft, they drop a 1 kiloton nuclear bomb in there. They all fly off, and after they fly off, they detonate that nuclear bomb, and it collapses the mountain on itself. That's worst case scenario. At that point, we won't be able to travel anymore. We'll be pariahs. I'll have to get my Canadian citizenship. Okay.
I had one of my friends that was traveling. He was telling me that abroad, or one of the commentators, I apologize. Canadians have the Canadian flag on their shirt right now, just so like the world know that they're not American.
Yeah, that's right. Not American. We're nice. We're nice people, right? That's what they're saying. Okay. Does the Navy use divers to clear out bombs in the Gulf? Yes, it's called explosive ordnance disposal. We have those divers. They could go in and clear minefields, but that's a very slow job. EOD's job is to defuse things like in the movie, what is it? The one about the Army EOD guys. The Hurt Locker, right? That's a good example of what EOD does. We do have a Navy version of that. They go in there, they can swim up to shore. I worked with them in Desert Storm with EOD Mobile Unit 6, where they had to start trying to figure out how to clear 1 million landmines.
And
Very challenging.
it took them 6 months to clear not landmines, the mines in the sea, while no one was shooting at them.
Yeah, that's
No
right.
one was shooting at them, and it
Oh,
took them
that
6
6
months.
months? 6 months was the first round of clearance. It took them almost 2 years because what they had to do is they used machines, remote controlled machines that would literally eat all the mines, right? And detonate them. Amazing Swedish demining machines. But once they eat up your beach, it's eaten. And the Kuwaitis opted not to push the beach back. Most of their what were long sand beaches are now concrete walls. They got rid of them. So, and it also makes sure that you don't have another easy beach for them to land on. So somebody says air assault, not parachuting. Yes, that's correct. That was Laura Ballard. Tracy Ross says U.S. casualties and injuries seem low. Are the numbers reported accurate? I think by this time they're reported accurate. We're at 300 some odd wounded, 14 dead. Trump, he told them to get ready. Has he telegraphed this move? Well, the Washington Post showed he ordered this weeks ago, and we picked up on it. Many people who are savvy in the intelligence world picked up on all those transport movements immediately. The New York Times didn't report on it till 2 days ago. You had been hearing about it nonstop for almost 2.5 weeks here. So, Trump talks smack, and he's just going to have to decide whether he's going to go suicidal or Taco. Taco, somebody asked that. Is Taco the best thing for him? Yes. Yes. Taking an off ramp, declaring victory, winding down your bombing operations. The problem is, as long as we're attacking and not taking an off ramp, this war still goes on and could still have all of these things happen. How would you remove the uranium this is Nancy Lewis. How would you remove the uranium-235 after you've parachuted in? You need specialists to locate it, place it, special containers. They're already in special containers about the size of a scuba breathing apparatus can. There's only 18 of them. And you got to go down into the middle of a mountain and go get it. Which is why the crazy option of putting a small, low-yield atomic bomb down there and detonating it while after your forces leave, that'll solve the problem. No one's ever getting that material again, right? And it's radioactive till the end of time. David Watts said, Dennis Watts says, is enriched uranium very volatile when it's in a canister? No, it's just powder, right? The canister is a lead shielding that does not let any radiation emit. You could sleep on top of it when it's inside there. Can it be randomly removed by a small explosion or accidental drop? No, not really. Could. Drones, Figment 5 says, drones are such a game changer. It really changes the calculation of the value of aircraft. Your thoughts on how dramatically we will change our spending? We won't, because Trump's a moron and Pete Hegseth's a bigger moron, right? We've already seen this. Janine Carter says, but seriously, how concerned should we be about sending so much of our military out there all at once? Are we getting spread too thin elsewhere? Feels like history right before the empire collapses. Well, you're right. What do you think, Watch?
It is a very scary time. It is what has Trump done is the basically broke the U.S. hegemony globally. The U.S. had some sort of voice in the global stance. When they say, don't do this, people listen. Don't do that, people pay attention. Now
Mm-hmm.
they're looking at the United States and they're how can we avoid this shit? How can we not run into them? What are we doing so we could stop making deals? Those are actual things happening across the world. And it's all has been done by the United States. US aid, which has nothing to do with just aid, was one of the strongest and most powerful diplomatic soft tool the United States has been using across the world. Instead of us giving those aid to Cuba and changing their own public opinion, China is doing that work at the moment.
Yeah.
Cubans are believing in China and looking for them instead of looking for the United States. That is what's happening. The United States is losing its power and is losing its place in the global stance.
Yeah. Gave its power away. Steve Rosenweig asked, why escalate? Why would Trump escalate? Well, I heard this described this afternoon that that they could use that de-escalate by escalating, right? Which means finishing the job, having a battle. Another thing that I heard this afternoon, Waji, you'll like this. The United Arab Emirates complained to the United Nations Security Council under Chapter 7 of the UN Charter, which
Yeah.
complains that navigation is being withheld. Freedom of navigation is being withheld through a passageway, and that they want the United Nations to allow it to be resolved by force. They said that today. And one of
Yeah,
my
they did.
tweets was, this could be a curveball. This could be where the operation to seize the islands is led by the Emiratis, and the U.S. Marines just do all the seizing, like I just showed you there. But Emirati landing craft come to Abu Musa, Greater Tum, Lesser Tum. By the way, one of their big logistics ships is known as, its name is Tum al-Khubra, which is Greater Tum Island. So since 71, this is their place as far as they're concerned. So they could use their LCM landing craft, land a few hundred soldiers with the Americans, have them with the Marines. The Marines could already be out there preparing on these bases and land there. And we say that we supported a United Arab Emirates operation.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the Iranians will be like, that's
The
cute.
Iranian has already responded. They said that is a sovereign property of the Iranian, and all of that water that where the people are passing the what's it, easy pass uh,
Yep.
uh
Tollbooth, Barak Island.
it's all they're claiming it all sovereign, and they're saying that they have absolute right choosing who can pass through that passageway.
Yeah.
So that's their response.
Okay. All right, everybody. We have, in theory, 4 minutes before the Donald Trump speaks. I don't call him the P word because he doesn't deserve it. So Rich K asks, so now's the time, if you guys want, now's the time to go get your margaritas, all right, or whatever your beverage of choice, whether it's a bottle of water or a sparkling water, which is what I'm going to switch to. And get ready for this, because I'm just going to turn the camera around and, hey, Wadja, is the speed of the video good or is it jerky? It's good on YouTube.
It looks fine for me. Every
Okay.
once in a while, I'll
Good.
rubber band, but right now it's smooth.
Okay. Rich K asks, how many casualties would you anticipate with the island attacks? What's an acceptable number? An acceptable number is 0. An unacceptable number is any number above 0, because this is a stupid idea. I would think maybe 30 dead, 40 if no helicopters are shot down, just in the bombs and cruise missiles and drones that are going to come. The problem is, if these guys are flying FPV drones, you're going to eventually end up with a video of a drone coming down onto some young U.S. Marine who people can recognize by either his name tag or his face, knowing that it blew him up into physical pieces, right? And his mom and dad are going to watch that the way that people in Russia watch their family members get killed in Ukraine. So if we lose a helicopter, one of those tilt rotors, that could be 25 guys per. So if they're starting to land, those rotors are turning up and they're starting to hover and getting ready to fast rope, and suddenly somebody's little drone comes up and goes into the engine, or worse, into the crew compartment and explodes.
And
That could be
guess
bad.
what? People are going to start asking themselves, why are we in this situation? Why is my son dying for a purpose that I still do not understand? When someone from the highest uh, positions from the Trump administration comes out and tells me there was no imminent threat on the United States,
Yeah.
and you are sending American troops to die for something that there was no imminent threat. You already have had more than 100 U.S. troops die.
Yeah. Listen, Sandra Stefan has a good question. She says, but Malcolm, aren't you telling Iran what we're going to do? Iran's been practicing for this for almost 47 years. Every year they practice this, taking the islands, losing the islands. There are real military experts there. They know their country. This isn't Malcolm. Malcolm's not telling them anything. Michelle
They've been
Azuras,
doing skirmishes 47 years.
they fought me when I was in my 20s. That's how, direct battle, right? They know what's going on. They know their game. That's why you are seeing them behave incrementally. I'm still watching the clock. How many boats would we need? Michelle Azura says a lot more than we have right now. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't have enough amphibious lift. That's why they'd be using helicopters and tilt rotors, and they are very vulnerable. The LCACs, the hovercraft that we showed you the other day, we only have 4 of them total. Okay, that's pretty much almost all the questions. No, Janine Carter asked, but seriously, how concerned should we be about sending so much of our military out there all at once? Are we getting
Very.
spread too thin? Yes, we are
Yes.
getting spread too thin. Just
I
seriously.
already wrote an article about that. China is already considering moving into Taiwan.
Yeah,
They have already met with the opposition of Taiwan, and they are considering actual military moves that will cut all important ships from Taiwan to the United States that we need for the military.
all right. We're going to switch to the special coverage. Get your beverage of choice, and let's watch the beginning of the special coverage. Trump is universally always late. So we have time.
The war with Iran.
I'm watching PBS's version, so you don't have to.
Gas prices here at home hitting Americans' wallets. The White House has billed tonight's address as an important update on that ongoing war.
Oh, it's an update.
Correspondent Liz Lander.
Come
Liz, just
on.
tell us, what are we expecting to hear from the president?
No, White House official told us this evening that this will be an operational update about military strikes in Iran.
So he ain't going to tell us nothing.
That the president is going to go over the stated goals that the White House and he has laid out in the last few weeks, talking about destroying Iran's missiles in their production facilities, destroying their navy, and also guaranteeing, most importantly, as the president has said, that Iran...
How's the audio? Can you hear that?
Nuclear weapon.
Yeah, we can hear
it
just
also
fine.
expect the president to reiterate the timeline for this, that this will be concluding the operation in a 2 to 3 week timetable, which he also stated yesterday.
Everything can happen.
Landers reporting live from the White House. We expect President Trump to walk through those doors any minute now. Now about to speak to the American public for the first time since the U.S. and Israel launched that war in Iran weeks ago. Here now is President Donald Trump.
Cankles McTaco Tits.
Thank you very much.
That's the same room Obama talked in.
Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something.
Which I tried to cut.
It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people.
You cut their budget, you dick.
Unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury.
Are you awesome or are you awesome?
One state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks,
Carrot chips. I love carrot chips.
Swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before.
Except at Thermopylae.
Iran's navy is gone. Their air force is in ruins.
Except at Salamis.
The leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead.
Are you sure?
Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons factories and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
100,000 freaking men died at Stalingrad.
It's been for 5 years.
Doesn't know the slightest of history.
Winning, and now
he's winning
than ever before.
Well, we're winning. We can leave, right?
Discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
That hit.
There we go. He's losing in Iran, so he's like, let's talk about Venezuela.
After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world.
Are you sure?
And now we're working along with Venezuela and are in a true sense partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America.
Oil is going to 200.
Totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything.
There to help. Dude, you attacked
our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, and?
The fanatical regime has been chanting death.
They're only more determined to have a nuclear weapon.
For 47 years.
Are you sure?
Proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole.
What? Wait, what? The Cole? No, that had nothing to do with them. That's Al-Qaeda.
bloody atrocities.
Look at him. He's giving Iran credit for attacks
Israel.
that Osama bin Laden did.
Never seen anything like it.
He's going to time the 9/11 next.
Also recently killed 45,000 of their own people.
Wow, that number's going up.
In Iran, 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen.
Bro, you may already have let it happen.
Of our past.
Air raids in Israel happening.
The situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been
Iran already has 900 pounds of highly enriched uranium. They can make 44 bombs or something.
The quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however.
Here's my robot companion.
Roadside bomb.
For my show.
Just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better position. He lived.
You got a warrior.
Probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what?
I got two. They can be my robot companions for this.
Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster.
There it is.
Obama gave them $1.7
drink
dollars.
He called it.
That's two. Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. Flew it by airplane.
Bullshit.
Attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb.
Oh my God, I'm going to be so drunk.
Led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran. And they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world.
If it hadn't been for Trump.
There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts. Had I not terminated that terrible deal, I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad from the beginning.
Like my drive.
Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt.
Why'd you know why this went off on time, right?
In June, I ordered a strike on
because this was
nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer.
It makes sense. That makes sense. He wants to look at people's life response on his Twitter. You know he's sitting
Midnight Hammer.
The regime then sought.
Midnight Hammer is one of the gayest titles of military operations next to Rough Rider.
No intention of abandoning
and
pursuit of
Epstein Fury
weapons.
Yeah.
So rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles.
Yeah, we know because they're bombing the Gulf like hell right now. Literally bombing Israel right now.
Actually, any other place on earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious.
They took out the largest aluminum factory in the whole world in Dubai and the UAE.
With the longest range possible.
Are you sure?
They had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out.
You mean like North Korea?
All out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah, like, the ones we dropped on Japan.
For years, everyone has said that Iran...
Or the 5,000 we have in our inventory. No one's ever seen those before.
Those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes.
No,
As
never.
I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear.
Make sure nobody reads those files.
Dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders.
What?
That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely...
That was number 3. That was not number 1.
Hurting their Air Force, their missile program at levels never seen before.
You keep saying that.
Annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone.
Okay.
And missiles are...
Air Force wasn't on the list.
Up or beaten.
They're bombarding Tel Aviv in real time.
crush their ability to support terrorist proxies and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily
in the history of the world.
Oh my God.
People are talking about it at the Krispy Kreme.
Objective.
Guys
Mr.
at the chock full of nuts are having discussions about this.
Sun
Go to any
Tzu Trump.
Of the 13 American.
Go to any Cracker Barrel and you'll have them here talking. They're talking about this. They've never seen anything like it.
A nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and
Yes,
something I wanted to be with those heroes as they
you wouldn't bow your head.
So when I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands, we salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission.
Here we go. We have to lose more soldiers to honor the dead.
Their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job."
With tears in their eyes.
And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. Close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great.
You've all been called out now. You're tied to them, G.
Fail in any way, shape, or form.
You're tied to Trump's buckle. You notice he didn't mention Kuwait.
And rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in countries that have the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to
I got IRGC in my room, yo.
Economic pain and instability worse than we.
Deranged.
The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this. You all know that we built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history in 1 year.
Except for that,
we've taken
4 years, Bill Clinton made the best economy in U.S. history.
With an actual return.
After the last administration and made it the
hottest am I drinking?
In the world by far with no inflation.
Why does he use words like the hottest?
To the United States.
Inflation's at 5%.
And the highest stock market ever.
Because he's a pimp. He only knows how to talk sexual words.
It all positioned us
to
the hottest of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember,
they imagined it for 47 years, bitch. It was a full-time job.
Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and
gas. They didn't imagine somebody so stupid that you let them have $14 billion, though. They didn't imagine that shit.
Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined.
And it's trash, so nobody buys it.
Be substantially higher than that.
You ended the world economy.
Like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States,
hottest economy.
Almost no oil.
Only 5
almost
million barrels of oil comes out of Saudi Arabia now.
We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are dead.
There he goes. He's winding down. This has already made him tired. Come on, Droopy McDroopy head.
Countries of the world.
Ankles McTaco shits.
Through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must cherish it. They can do it easily. We be helpful.
Cherish it.
Yeah,
you're gonna give it some hugs. You're gonna give it some sugar.
Depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel. Many of which
that's right.
To get involved in
you should appreciate us for disrupting everything.
Themselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We destroyed the gas station. Up some delay.
Buy from our gas station.
Done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves.
What
has been essentially decimated. The hard part is
Hey,
done,
boss.
so it should be easy.
Boss,
And in any event,
I think he crazy.
it is over the
Yeah,
strait
he's definitely crazy, my friend.
naturally. It'll just open up naturally.
He's
Yeah,
definitely
just
crazy.
open up naturally.
Because
Yeah,
that's all they have
like
to try.
the way you told Eugene Carroll to. Right, I see how it
The
is.
gas prices will
Lay back and let it happen. Is that what you're trying to say?
rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very
Good
much.
God, this man.
But they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat.
What?
With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible. They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the
So they could spend it on their $8 a gallon gas.
Time say there is no negotiation.
The levels that it was a month ago. I made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are
Epic Fury, I swear to God,
next to the
somebody who really hates Pete Hegseth is choosing these names. And they are all going to appear at the Adult Video Awards next year. And
going to hit them extremely hard over the
Las
next
Vegas
2
or something.
3 weeks.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The AVN Awards are going to have
To the Stone
Epic
Ages.
Fury 2.
In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change
It was the first thing you said.
has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead.
Pete Hegseth literally
group
said
is
regime
just
change has
radically
happened. They just haven't recognized it yet.
During the period of time, no deal is made. We have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants
Here he is. He's back to this.
simultaneously.
Oil goes back up to 150 tomorrow.
Even though that's the easiest target of all,
This is
because it would not
stupid.
give that even a small chance of survival or rebuilding.
Not even a small chance of survival or
The
rebuilding.
whole
Are you talking
regime
about using
survived.
nukes?
Nothing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment.
Are you sure?
Is 100% annihilated.
Are you sure?
We are
They
unstoppable.
took down an F-35.
See, as soon as you say some stupid shit like that, we get the report of an airplane going down, right?
So hard
Watch.
that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard.
Wait, you're saying you're going to go back to war at any time in the future? This will just restart.
Perspective. American
So good.
If they make any move towards that bunker, bitch, they're going to have dump trucks out in the morning.
They already have dump trucks inside the tunnel.
45 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month. And
They
2
have
days.
tunnel cleaning.
Look at this. Now he's talking about how short this war is.
5 months and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days.
28? Are you sure?
This military operation, so powerful
And a wake up?
so brilliant against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days.
Oh my God, yo.
Country is
32 days. That Trump, he's awesome. Bestest president in the history of the. God damn, this man's a moron.
They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer.
No, you're the bully, you dick.
One of your closest allies took 3 F-35, F-15.
They can't leave
What?
power, strength, and brilliance. They just
3
can't believe what they're seeing.
F-15 was taken down by Kuwait.
Your imagination,
Yeah,
but they
At
can't.
the beginning of the war.
They're seeing the
Yeah.
brilliance of the United States military.
Really?
Every American can
Is it me or is he just right now turning very bright red?
Of Iranian.
Is he going to
He's
die?
very red.
No, I
Very
mean, he's
red.
going red. He's going red.
We've taken. We are on the
I see that.
cusp of
Breathe.
and
Breathe, you silly manta-like
And I'll tell you,
sloth.
the world is watching, and when we do, when it's all over, the United States
He's as
will
red
be
as his
stronger,
tie.
stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before.
Oh, Jesus, help
May
me.
God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces and
20 minutes.
the
Oh,
United States of America. Thank
Is
you
it-
very
is
much,
it-
and good night.
okay. Yikes.
Someone take him to the hospital.
They're addressing the nation for the first time since the U.S.
Okay, the big question is, let's be honest. Wow, we have like extra time. I should run down and get another
Oh,
margarita. Okay, let's
that
be
was
honest.
something.
Have you heard any of this before?
I
Here's
mean,
my light.
it's the
He
same
just repeated what
propaganda
he
point.
said on Sunday. None of this
Exactly
was
the same
new,
point.
not a word.
I don't know what I haven't heard a single update.
No, and then he went back to his threat that almost crashed the market again on Friday about we will destroy all your power plants. And he hinted that he would use atomic bombs because he said you'll never be able to reconstruct them or even use that land again.
I feel like this message was mostly for MAGA to be like, listen, hear me out. Let from my mouth to your ear. Let me calm you down. But I don't think he's done that. I don't feel like he's made me feel calm. Even I think a lot of MAGA supporters who wanted America first are sitting down and going like, hold on, man. Hold on. I didn't vote for you for that. We talked about economy. You said you're going to bring prices down. All of a sudden, I'm seeing $8 a gallon here in California. What the hell are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Instead of spending, we were complaining about $5 for eggs during the Biden administration. I wish I have $5 eggs during the Biden administration. At least my electronic equipment wasn't cut off. My gas was not in danger. My medicine is not gonna be disrupted. You have no clue what's coming to you. Everything that you are used to in terms of comfort, if this continues, you are not gonna be used to it again.
Well, listen, I just wrote my first tweet about that, where all I put in all caps was lame. Even Trump's taco was wrapped in a taco. So his taco was delayed with another taco. He can't seem to make up his mind. He wants to make a decision, but he's not. And so I think he was supposed to make a big State of the Union where he thought he was going to make an announcement about a ceasefire and all that, and he tacoed. All right. So my question is, if your taco is wrapped in a taco, does that make it a burrito? Just the
Yeah.
inquiring minds want to know. Let's go back to your questions, and then I will let you all go and for your evening, because I feel that disappointed that thing that we just watched was without a doubt one of the lamest speeches ever done in American history. So
Absolutely.
Alan Brewer says Trump is cart with a pizza in the sewers of New York. No, he means a rat. It's a pizza rat, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Jade Red says if Special Ops and SEAL's objective is to take Kharg Island, why not mine and booby trap the island, causing massive casualties? The Iranians are already doing that.
Already doing that.
And
Yep. That's what I was
we
trying to say.
reported that days ago. Days ago. Laura Ballard says, does the UAE or Saudis have special forces or SEALs like us? Yes, they do, but they're very small. They have
They're
big
meant
special
to
forces in
protect
Saudi
the
Arabia.
royal family. They're not meant to protect the rest of the Saudi properties and the rest of the Saudi people. The special forces are there to make sure MBS and his closest family members and the ministers who run the government are safe.
Yeah. Brantley asks, are there command detonated drone mines in the Strait of Hormuz? No, when you put those things out, they're there to be used. You can't command detonate them unless they're like a torpedo mine or an encapsulated mine or one that you fire from a rocket. Once they're out there, you leave them out there or you sweep them up, right? Dawn Marrow says, how likely is it we can actually take that island? We could take any island we want. It's living there alive and sustaining it, right? Once you're being bombarded nonstop, the people hate you. They're shooting at you, snipers, rockets, mortars. Everything is raining down on you, and landmines are being planted in the middle of the night, right? Could be bad. What is the average water temp in the Persian Gulf? It's pretty cold. I'll tell you right now. I don't know what the mean water temperature is, but it's cold. It's wetsuit weather. Even in the daytime, if you go out, past 500 meters on, 1,000 feet off the beach, you lose the heating effect from shallow water, and you're in
As
cold ass water. And let me
as
tell you,
soon
I've
as
been in the cold water over there.
as soon as you lose the sunlight in the water becomes immediately cold. Even
Very
in
cold.
the Red Sea, even in the Red Sea. I used to go scuba diving there. So even in the Red Sea, as soon as you step away from sunlight, it becomes cold.
Mark asks, given the Houthi announcement and their threat to close the Bab el-Mandab, would neutralizing Yemen be a logical precondition before any potential ground operation in Iran? We can't neutralize Yemen. We can't. They're guys with flip-flops in the mountains with ballistic missiles, anti-ship missiles, and machine guns. We tried. We had a little war with Yemen last year, you might recall. And we quit after about a month.
In Saudi Arabia, we call people in Yemen that live the mountains genies. Genies.
The jinn?
Jinn.
The jinn.
Because
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 they're like the jinn. Because they come in out of nowhere and sleep with your wife?
no,
Because
they
in
just they
1001 Arabian Nights, that's what genies do.
I will post a video for you guys.
They
Kids
come in out of the dark.
climbing mountain up and down with one hand, two hand, upside down, and they're just little kids. They're climbing these mountains like nothing. I used to be a power lifter back in high school. I tried to arm wrestle a classmate that when I went back to Saudi Arabia for summer school one time. Kid was skinny as hell. He beat the shit out of me like no one's business.
Dude, they're mountain yards with mountain people. You can't beat mountain people. They can go up and down those rock cutting mountains in flip flops. And they know every pass and they know every body, right? They know every goat. It's very hard to do. Somebody asked, Malcolm, can you name the 10 plagues visited upon the Pharaoh's head the first night of Passover? Yes. Donald, Eric, Ivanka, Barron, Steve Miller, Kaylee McEnany. Oh, I'm missing some. Christy Nome. Oh yeah, Pam Bondi. And there's at least one more in there. I could list 20 plagues. The Lord really hated us this time around. That's all I can say. Okay, I've answered all the questions and no one wanted a video question. I think I should let you go. We've been at this an hour and a half. Thank you for coming to this special wasted time edition of Black Man Spy. The first section on the invasion is accurate. If you see any of those indicators, just dial me up, say, Malcolm, it's coming. Have you seen this? And I might not have seen it, so let me know. Yes, everyone has night vision now.
By the way,
Okay.
you have tomorrow's episode scheduled at 8 p.m. Is that correct?
What, for the morning briefing?
Yes, you do have it
Oh,
scheduled
I'll
that
check it
night.
out. No, it's 9 a.m. Sometimes that thing has a mind of its own. Tomorrow
Okay, I
morning,
just
9
wanted to
a.m., I
make
will
sure.
resend the schedule. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Waja. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the morning.
Have a good one. See you morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.